Thank you very much for the opportunity to come and talk to you today about the Tidal Marsh Restoration Project. We're celebrating the start of this project. We're very excited to get it started. And today, one of our primary goals is to draw on all of your expertise on the resources that you have jurisdiction over, and to be able to weave that together with the permits that we're putting together. Elkhorn Slough is a remarkable place. It's teeming with life. It's part of the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary. It's a state marine reserve. It's designated essential fish habitat, and is an important stopover for migratory birds. One of the things that makes this place so remarkable is the salt marsh. This salt marsh that we have here. It buffers the shoreline, it cleans the water, and it provides important habitat for many species that live here. We're losing our salt marsh. 150 years ago, on the west coast of the United States, in the last 150 years, we have lost 90% of our salt marsh. That's 5 million acres. In the Elkhorn Slough, in the same 150 years, we've lost 50% of our salt marsh. In 1870, here's the distribution here. Now in 2000, these areas in the brown are areas that are now just mud. There's two primary drivers to this. One is the installation of the Moss Landing Harbor in the 1940s at the mouth of Elkhorn Slough, increasing the tidal energy and causing erosion. And the second is the historical land use practice of diking and draining of salt marshes and using them for farmland or agricultural, or rangeland. Now in Elkhorn Slough, we do things a little bit different than most estuaries. In 2004, we started the Tidal Wetland Program to specifically address the loss of salt marsh. And we do it in a way that's very collaborative. We have a decision maker group, and this is made up of all of the agencies that have jurisdiction. So representatives such as yourself that have expertise on the resources in the slough and actually have jurisdiction over what happens there. And that is informed by our community stakeholders and our scientific stakeholders. We gather scientific information. When there's a gap in the data, we pull together a small working group or a specific expert investigator that will fill that gap, bring that information back to the group, and then provide that information to the decision makers. All of this is coordinated by the Elkhorn Slough Reserve staff. So we've done a number of projects recently. We put in a 280 feet sheet pile wall that serves as an underwater speed bump to slow down tidal erosion in the slough. We finished this in 2010. And we've been improving water quality. This is a project we just finished a couple of months ago where culverts that were transferring water to a small lagoon had collapsed. We replaced that with a big open culvert, lots of improved water quality and wildlife passage. Let me show you what this looks like on the ground in a particular area. This is an area we call Parsons Slough. This is from the 1930s. As we move through time, you can see how this area was diked, drained, and farmed. It was used as an agricultural area. In 2000, this is a shot from 2003. This is what it looks like today. All of that area now has been opened back up to the tides, but it's just a mud flat. All of the salt marsh is gone. Looking from the ground level, this is relatively healthy marsh, untouched on this side. On the other side is that area that I just showed you that has lost all of its salt marsh due to diking and draining. So what's happened there is that the land has subsided. Here's our natural marsh plain. We put a dike in there. It's like a sponge. That salt, that peat that's there, it holds water. It's like a sponge. When it dries up, all of that blows away and the land subsides. When the water comes back in, what you're left with is a bathtub ring of tidal salt marsh around the edge. So we'd like to tackle this area. It's about a little over 400 acres. It's a $2 million price tag. We're going to start with an area over here that has not subsided as much. That's an area we like to call Minhoto. And this is what it looked like in the 1930s. And today, here's what it looks like again. It's a shallow pan. When what happens when the tides come in here, it's a very shallow area. and in the evenings, the water the oxygen just gets sucked out of that water. And so this particular area, very poor quality habitat. There's not a lot of organisms that can survive in this. So this will be the target of our project that we're working on now, and I'm going to turn it over to Tatiana Margolina to tell you the specifics on the project description of exactly what we'll be doing next. Thank you very much.